Attraction Life Coaching Podcast. I hope you all had an amazing Christmas, and I hope you had a fantastic new year, and I hope you enjoyed the break. And we are back now. We're back for the beginning of the New Year's podcast, 2020. And I believe a lot about numerology. I think that there's a lot in numbers. I see that the universe tends to kind of speak in patterns and numbers. And I think 2020 is going to be a really good year. So I'm really looking forward to getting started with it and to guiding you through. So how are we going to start this new year? Well, I thought what would be a great place to start is actually talking about the law of attraction, my namesake for my coaching business. And this is because law of attraction has been massive for me. It's been a huge instigator in everything that has happened in my life, I think, since I started using it. And I get a lot of people kind of asking about law of attraction. How does it work? What is it? And it's kind of like a cosmic law. The easiest way to kind of explain it would be that you don't have to be religious, you don't have to be spiritual. It's more about that there's a cosmic law that is in place the same as if you were talking about gravity. Or why magnets work, what about magnetic force and the fact that you have polarization. And what I like to think about it is that you are in effect a magnet, and you can polarize yourself for the things that you want or the things that you don't want, i.e. a negative or positive thought pattern that happens in your mind. And there's good kind of psychology basis behind kind of explaining this if you want to kind of think of it as being less this cosmic power that's like a magical thing and more thinking about it as being creating a basis for your subconscious to work on, therefore attracting things easier into your life because you've created a parameter for it. So let's kind of explain that a little bit deeper. Okay, so say you want to attract something into your life. If you believe that you are never going to have it, you will never have it. This is because your subconscious will work to set up a very strong parameter for a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, self-fulfilling prophecies are very, very strongly researched psychological ideology that states that what somebody believes, they will achieve. Now, self-fulfilling prophecies can be positive or they can be negative. As a lecturer, we use self-fulfilling prophecies massively in the classroom and with our students, because a student that believes that they won't succeed, a student that uses words like can't, won't, unable, not possible, things like that, they set up very strong parameters for themselves to say that they actually genuinely won't achieve that thing. And so what we're looking to do is to create a positive ideology in your mind that says, I'm capable of this, I can do this. And it's almost a bit like that fake it till you make it. Now, fake it till you make it is a thing, is something within the zeitgeist and is ubiquitous between people who have been successful, because when you fake it till you make it, you set up a positive parameter in your mind that says, I'm able to achieve this, I'm going to go for it, and it will happen. And this is kind of like what the law of attraction practice is. It's about setting up positive, hopeful parameters in your mind, believing that you can achieve what you want to achieve, and going for it. Now, you can't just sit in your room and go, I want this, and expect it to happen, okay? There is action in attraction. You have to go out and do something. And so making little steps, positive little steps towards whatever it is that you want, you'd be surprised actually how quickly these things can manifest for you. Now, that's looking at the law of attraction on a psychological, scientific, non-woo-woo basis. Now, I have experienced the more woo-woo side of law of attraction that I can't explain other than coincidence and my reticular activator, which is a part of the brain that when you set it a parameter, it will look out for it. If you think about when you get a red car, suddenly you see red cars everywhere. That's because your reticular activator is looking for something. So you set your brain to look for things and it will look for them. So say for instance, I've had times when I've left my brolly at home, I have gone to a lecture, and then I have found a brolly underneath my seat, and it's like I'm sitting in a you know, in a video game or something, and you find a medipack just as you're about to die. You know, it's odd coincidence. It is very bizarre. I can't explain it other than coincidence, or the fact that there is some great higher power that's above us that, I don't know, that is able to drop stuff into reality. I can't explain it, but I do know that I've had some very bizarre coincidences with the law of attraction, and things that come true from manifestation boards and vision boards in very, very odd, very succinct ways, even sort of down to the colour of things and places found and things. Well, law of attraction, we have gone over a rough idea of what the law of attraction is. Now I wanted to talk to you about something that I use to manifest the things I want. And actually in this box I have my vision boards, I think going back to about 2017, and I haven't looked at these, so I really hope I haven't got anything embarrassing on here that I don't want to show you. I might have to blur it out otherwise. But I haven't looked at these yet, and it will be interesting to go back and have a look at what has come true on my manifestation boards. Now, manifestation boards are kind of like mood boards. I tend to cut out pictures from magazines with slogans or things like that, that I think would be things that I would like to have in my life. And I've got a couple in here. Have I got any others? I've got one upstairs on my wall already that I'm starting a business manifestation board. I'm not sure if I've got any others in here. I've got a rather large Valentine's Day card in here. Lots of cards and things. No, I haven't. Okay, so let's have a look at the ones that we've got. I've got, I create these as often as I can, and they tend to have lots of different ideas on them. This is actually only one of them. I've got another few somewhere else, but I'm not sure where I've put them. So this is one here, and you can see here that it has an array of things on it. And I tend to kind of cut out things I would like to do, maybe slogans like being happier, breathe out, things about meditation. I've got one here saying like the magical unknown. Other things that I've got on here is places to go, things to do, things I would like to purchase. It's funny actually how many things that you do in the end. So I might have to put my glasses on for this, but you're going to get a horrible reflection in my glasses, so I apologise for that. So first up, let's have a little look at the top portion. Now all I do is I get 4 A4 pieces of paper, or you can get an A3 piece of paper if you've got it. This is actually A2 I think if you do 4 pieces of A4. And I just take them together, and you can see all I've done is cut out things that I would like from magazines. And it could be slogans, it could be pictures, ideas, that you would like, and I put this up on my wall and I look at it every day. Now I tend to have it somewhere where I can look at it in the morning. At my old flat I had a wall that was next to my bed, so I had this next to my bed, so I would look at it before I go to sleep, which is a great time to do manifesting, because you're about to go into, I mean, before you sleep you tend to get a burst of alpha waves, which is really good for manifestation, meditation, and imprinting things into the mind. And then you go into deep theta states, or theta states. And this is really positive because, again, you're going into a meditational part of your brain, a brain where the dreaming happens. And if you set yourself a parameter before you go to sleep, something like a vision board, something you'd like, you'll often find that you may dream about the things, or when you wake up in the morning, this idea is sort of lurking there within your subconscious. And so what you'll be more likely to do the next day, after you have looked at your manifestation board, or you've created your vision board, or you've set your intentions, you're more likely to say yes to the things that you want and no to the things that you don't want. And success really is a case of saying yes to the things you want and no to anything that's not that. You know, people who don't have clear goals and clear vision often tend to have no kind of clear vision, and so they go with this, they go with that, they go with all sorts of things, but they don't really understand where they're going, and then they never really achieve anything because they haven't really, you know, got a plan. So what things have I got here on my dream board? Now I've got lots of traveling. I wanted to do lots of traveling that year. Things about kind of possibly kind of moving to a new home. Now I created this, when did I create this? Would be clever if I put dates on the back. This was with me in Cardiff. This was my Cardiff manifestation board, and I think I had created this whilst I was in the relationship that I was in. It would be good if I could find my other manifestation boards, because you'd be able to have a look at those. I've got them somewhere. Where are they? Pretty sure I've got them somewhere. I'll see if I can find them out. And I know that on some of my old manifestation boards, I had an engagement ring. That was before I met my partner Stephen. I'd also had a few other things that have definitely come true on those, so it'd be good to get those out. I've got some things about houses, so moving to a new home. That's something that's come to fruition. So things about kind of having the things that you want in life. I've got some the Scandinavian igloos there. That hasn't come true, but I am going to do that at some point. That's something I would like to do. Something here that looks a bit like a wedding, which I have just gotten engaged, so we are on our way to it anyway. Wads of money. I've had a lot more money this year than what I had the year before. I can remember going and doing an evening of work, and I had actually come home with a wad of cash that looked just like this, which is quite bizarre. So that sort of came to fruition. Lots of things about kind of traveling around. I've done a lot of traveling this year, things to go and see clients, things to kind of go to events, and I went to Glastonbury for a retreat and all sorts. We had times on here about kind of road trips. I did a road trip with my partner, which was really great, so that was something that was kind of, but these are pretty normal things. I don't think that these are anything that that are kind of bizarre. I think one of the bizarre ones here was that I had fireworks on there, and it was actually when I got engaged, it was just before New Year's Eve, and about half an hour after we got engaged, we went down to the beach to stand on the beach and watch all of the fireworks that were going off over the whole of the Algarve, and we could just watch the whole bay of all the fireworks. So that was quite bizarre, but you know, people could say that that's not much of a thing really. I've just been gifted a new bed, which was something that I needed, so that's quite cool. Done lots of traveling. I've got a blank check down here that's got 75,000 on there. Haven't received that as yet, but perhaps this year that will be something that I manage to focus on. And I've got Canada on there as well. So I've got my trip to Canada. I'm looking to go to Canada in spring. So that's something that I'm looking to do this year. So again, that's something that will be ticking off. Now, this one's pretty normal, I think. Nothing too kind of, you know, bizarre there. I think that any sort of odd coincidences or anything you think like, oh my lord, that thing came true and it came through perfectly. But I think what is nice is that, you know, whether you're looking at it as kind of like, you know, magical happenings or whatever, I think what's great is that every day you can get up and you can see what you want to do and what you want to achieve. And, you know, when you see what you want to achieve, when your goals are so tangibly in front of you, and it's like, yeah, that's something I want to do. I want to go to Canada. That's something I want to do. Move house. I want to buy a van. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do the other. Then again, as I said, you say no to the things that you don't want, and you say yes to the things you do. And I think that this is a really important place to start, because it just keeps what you need to do in mind. It stops you from accidentally getting kind of pulled off of life. And I think that it's an easy way to keep track of the goals that you've got, without, you know, being too kind of, I don't know, in depth or kind of, you know, Do you know what I mean? It kind of keeps it there in kind of easy, in an easy way, rather than kind of having to kind of keep a journal every day logging everything that you've got. So I've started to make this one for this year. This is my business one. I'm also going to do a personal one as well and have them side by side. On my business one so far, I've got things here. Law of attraction, our thoughts become things, which I believe is very true. I've got 2019 on there because I did start this one in the middle of the year, but I think I need to take that one off and start for 2020. I've got things here about TEDx talk. I'd love to do a TEDx talk, so that's something that I've got on there. Again, my gold button for YouTube. I'm looking to increase my YouTube channel and get more of an impact that I can kind of maybe get sort of a lot more followers. So I've got their kind of 81.3 followers last month. Things here about like an instant New York best time seller. I'd love to get my book out and about. I've got things to do with travel, like book deals, things about like you were born with the ability to change somebody's life. Don't waste it. And that's, my coaching business. Without blowing my own trumpet, I do change people's lives with what I do, as I've changed my own. And, it's a reminder to myself to keep going, that even when it gets difficult, that this is what is worthwhile and this is what I have to do. So just to be consistent with it and keep going. I've got some frivolous things here, which was a Louis Vuitton purse. And actually, I have already got myself the Louis Vuitton purse. And last week, I had gone abroad, and it was filled with euros. And I looked down and I was like, boom, things are already coming true. So it's a good place to start. Make it fantastical, think about the things that you want. I've got Tony Robbins on there. I'd love to go and see Tony Robbins at some point. He is one of my, I don't know what I would call him, one of my, people that I really admire. So Tony Robbins is on there. He's a kind of life goal for me. Love to meet Tony Robbins, and I'd love to go to one of his seminars. So that's another thing that I'm looking to do. And obviously keeping up with my podcast and my YouTube channel and everything else. So that's my current one for this year that I'm starting. As you can see, there's room at the top because I haven't finished it yet. But I would say, look, go big or go home, guys. I've got some really big goals on there. The only thing that can happen is that you can half achieve them. That's it, So go for it. Put your dreams down, put it out there. Make sure that you are sticking to what you intend to do for the year by creating a vision board, by creating a mood board for the life that you want, and actually just go for it. And these are things that are private. Put it up on your fridge, put it somewhere in your bedroom, put it so you can see it whilst you're doing your makeup or shaving or whatever, and just set yourself something for the year and go for it. When we create ourselves goals, we are much more likely to achieve those things than if we just keep them kind of very loosely in the back of our mind and think, well, if I don't set it, then I'm not going to fail. That approach is a sure way to not get what you want. Being bold and being explicit on what you want and saying, this is how I want it, this is when I want it. That's a great way to start, and you'd be surprised actually how many of the things that you achieve by the end of the year. I can't seem to find my ones from 2017, 2018. I have a horrible feeling I may have thrown them out when I moved, but I'm really hoping I didn't do that, because that seems like a really silly thing to do. But they may be somewhere up in the loft. I might have put them in a suitcase or something somewhere when I moved. So if I can find them out, I will try and post them on the Instagram channel or something, so you guys can have a look at them on Instagram or Facebook or something. But good luck. Go and get some magazines, get printing some pictures off of Google Images, be explicit, be precise, and be bold. Dreams like your life. Go after your life dreams like your life depends on it. Because it does. Because you're here once, you are here to play the beautiful game of life, and if you don't play it well, by the time you're 80, you'll be thinking, bugger, I wish I'd done it better. So go out there, do the things that you want to do, and just be bold. Fortune favours the brave, guys. Okay, so good luck. I hope you enjoy making your vision boards. Please leave a comment down below. Please like, share and subscribe, because you'll be helping me hit my targets of getting more subscriptions and maybe heading towards my gold YouTube button, which is going to happen at some point in the next decade, no doubt. So I would really like you to share your vision boards with me as well. Please leave a comment below. Let me see what your goals are. What are your goals for this year? We're not talking about resolutions, we're talking about goals. Resolutions are wishes, goals are things that you're going to achieve. So you can't spell goal without go. There you go. I always sound like Boris Johnson with these things. I don't know what's the matter with me. But you guys can achieve anything you want. If I can achieve my dreams, you guys can. I'm not anything special. I'm not some really willpowery person. I just put my mind to things and I do them. And you guys can do it just the same. So good luck. Share me your goals down below. Let me know what you're getting up to this year. If you make a vision board, I would love to see it. And I wish you all the luck and blessings for this decade, this new year, and this week. I'll see you all next week. Take care. Bye-bye. I don't know if you can see Paul on the camera. This is Paul. I don't think you've met Paul before. Normally, Paulie is he's a bit camera shy compared to Little Face, aren't you, sweetheart? So this is Paulie, if you can see him. If you can't see him, this is a pointless part of the video and I'll cut it out later. So,